After a break of almost 2 years, exhibition centers have started opening in a COVID era. And with us, of course, is famous painter and artist Paresh Maity, who is here in Kolkata with his latest exhibition after 6 years gap. Pareshda, welcome to Calcutta, of course. And we are seeing this beautiful installation behind us here in the city of Joy. This is your city. You've started your journey from this very city. Tell us what brings you back to Calcutta.
City of Joy brings me every time emotion, love, feeling. It brings me every time in Calcutta. Yes, this exhibition in this Birla Academy's lawn is the second my sculpture installation show in India. And after 2 years, we were all stranded, homebound. It's a physical exhibition. I took the opportunity because it's open air. And also to put together this whole exhibition, it took a long time, many years effort is this exhibition. As you see, the pieces are so big and huge. It took to build this exhibition really long time. And I'm very happy to present this exhibition, the city where I have started.
As you say, you started here in Kolkata, but for people across the globe, it's been a very difficult 2 years during COVID. Everybody were locked inside their houses. Has that had any impact on your thought process, on your artwork?
It did. We became, I had more time, uninterrupted time. There were not many phone calls, nowhere to go. So full time could devote in the art. I always, painted. I love to be alone, to create my art, where I can put my heart and soul together in my any piece of art. And also it taught me, I was always very simple, but it taught me more and more become simple and minimalistic. Minimum work and maximum expression. We don't need so many things.
One interesting aspect that I see from this installation, of course, I can see grasshoppers on the lawn, on the green lawn, and I can see parts of motorbikes being used here. You say kinetic energy. When we were homebound, we were stuck. Our pace got slow. And then you are depicting this. So somewhere down the line, did it teach you, COVID, did it teach you to slow down in life and recollect, think, ponder?
That is absolutely correct, because the world was moving too fast with this kinetic space and kinetic energy, where we did not have so much time to realize even ourselves, to rediscover ourselves. And that was the time I realized that the motion should be a little bit slow to understand everything in life very nicely with time. Although this installation was made 4 years back, I could not exhibit because without, such open and beautiful space, I could not, exhibit and install this piece. That was also another reason. But I'm very happy and very, glad that they have this lawn, Birla Academy of Art and Culture. They could give me this space happily to put up this show, and it will go for a month, more than a month. And with that, art exposure gave the joint hands another gallery. So these two galleries has put up their effort, this exhibition.
Wonderful. We will ask our audiences to come visit this exhibition because, as Pareshda says, this is the first exhibition that's opening up in an open, space after a long time, a physical exhibition during COVID. Pareshda, why don't you show us some of the other works that you have? Because I can see benches out here that has been put as installations. And as we have been saying, we have been locked in our houses for too long over the past 2 years, and we are yearning to come out of our houses in the open spaces, in these public spaces.
To come out, I know one has to be very careful because it's a dangerous moment, but at least to come out and under the open sky and feel the art differently. And also there is this piece you can see, it's called Golden Shower, the tree. It is like save the nature, save the earth, save the tree, save the earth. this is very interesting when I go for walk. Every day in the evening or morning, I see this amultas tree, golden shower, during especially March and April. And it gives a joy and happiness. But once the flowers are, gone, I see this, the stick kind of the fruit hanging. And whenever I see that, I feel that it is a piece of sculpture. And sometimes people, they really try to, scratch it. But it is a sculpture, it's a 3-ton sculpture.
You're a Tomluk boy. You've come from East Midnapur. You've traveled the world. So you've literally taken home to the world. If people ask you, what is your style? We know you are famous for your watercolor. But here we are in the midst of sculptures and massive installations, which are in a sense difficult to put out. This one that we see, why don't you describe this for us? What is your predominant style? Is it more of a tribal art that has taken shape of a modern installation?
Yeah, the beginning of my journey, the small place from where I have come, Tamluk, and when I have traveled to many small places in India, I see our tribal art, our is primitive art. They are so strong, they are so beautiful, and if you put together this, sculpture is like it is a grace, it is a beauty, it is a energy, it is the power. So it has combination of everything.
Woman power?
Everything. It has everything. If you see it carefully, how strong, how strength it is, and how beauty I have tried to depict in a larger than life size.
And we always celebrate women power. Even as we speak here in Kolkata, it's Jagadhatri Puja today, Durga Puja, Kali. So we always, celebrate the power of womanhood. And that always reflects in, comes as an inspiration to you.
Yeah, of course. I am here because of my mother. And that, that power has to be there. And the more we give them the opportunity, give them the, scope to flourish, it is better for everybody.
Women is always an inspiration. Why don't you show us a few of your other works? This is something that we have seen in Calcutta earlier as well. And that seems to have resurfaced once again.
This is the 4 stages of life. Like how, our life, like Brahmacharya, Garhastha, Banapastha, Sannyas. In 4 stages of life, it is depicted in this sculpture. And how we go through this whole life. And that's the pillars, the 4 pillars of life. It is depicted in this sculpture.
Wonderful. Very interesting one that I can see here. If you can explain even this one.
This is spice root. Spice root. See, without the spice, our life is very flat. Wherever I travel, I see, they carry the mirchis, they carry the spice. You can smell it, you can feel it. And with the spice, everything becomes fantastic. It's so good.
The spice of life.
Spice of life. And that's why I said it's a spice root. This sculpture, I, rented a tempo for a month and took the mold from the original tempo. It was made in Jaipur. And especially when I travel in Rajasthan, I see the mirch, the chilies are everywhere. So this is another, the main inspiration.
For an artist, inspiration comes from each and every small thing around you.
From nature, from everything, from every moment, the inspiration comes. We don't know when it will come.
And of course, the biggest piece out here, it seems like the most extravagant and the most grand piece, if you can stand in front of that. This, of course, is a bull. The raging bull.
Charging the bull. How we are, the how bull, the force it creates, the kinetic energy. So this, this and the form from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, you see the simplified form. Because it is just 1 or 2, 3 lines, you can create that space and that energy. That I have depicted using 8,500 temple bells, assembling and creating this 26 feet long bull.
How long did it take to create?
Nearly a year it took, yes.
And as you said, during COVID, when people were locked inside their houses, you had more time to introspect.
Yes.
And more time to give to your work.
I could really uninterruptedly give time to create my unfinished lot of work and to create new space and create a new form and art and dimension.
That is always a challenge for an artist, to create a new form, a new dimension, and reinvent oneself. But one last question. In this age of digital media, virtual technology, we see a lot of artists across the world using science, using technology to put a shape or a dimension to their imagination. Is that a challenge? Is that an advantage? Or is that an impediment for you?
It's an advantage. See, today, with this revolution of the technology, see, earlier we could not even think this exhibition is same time on digitally, in the net. So people from Japan to San Francisco, from Mexico, anybody can see this exhibition sitting different part of the world digitally, which was not there earlier.
But when we see young artists coming out and they are giving shape to their imagination rather than hand painting or hand drawing, they're using the computer to design it. Is that a challenge? Is that a good thing or a bad thing for an artist like you?
See, it is. I'm very old school. I love to draw with my own hand because it has a lot of emotion and love and feeling. When I do a drawing in the computer, the touch is not there. That emotion, that direct feeling.
Minor imperfections. Everything is all very. So the minor imperfections of an artist's hand, that is what makes it enriching.
Yeah, that's why, this. You see any piece of art, even a small piece of miniature, they're unique. When I did this bull 26 feet, I made a drawing with my own hand. Not using computer or not using anything else. So that's, gives a freedom and, deepest feeling and emotion which goes into your art.
Many congratulations, Paresh, for this new exhibition that comes 6 years later here in his own city, the city of joy in Kolkata. And of course, 2 years of lockdown state when people were locked inside their houses. Finally, it's open air. People can come out and enjoy the work of art in the openness, in its vastness. These installations that have been placed here, created by none other than Paresh Maity, the artist himself, with video journalist Kiranjit Indrajit for India Today in Kolkata.